In the future, you definitely don't want to win the jackpot. In the United States has issued a new way for this lottery game. If that AI kills the winner before the sun goes down, that means they'll also be eligible for the jackpot. There's only one rule: no bullets. Anything else you can use to attack. Like this guy just won the jackpot. There was a huge crowd of people holding weapons, chasing him. The man did not hesitate to fight them all, because if he doesn't fight, he'll die. Then the man broke into a nearby house of a grandmother, looking after the baby. He even broke her phone to not be discovered. But this game is not that easy. There's a drone outside, are silently monitoring everything. Good granny, want to get some painkillers for the man. But when he loses focus, she secretly used a nail gun and finish him on the spot. Then my grandmother broke her lottery ticket to call the government. The lottery company came to a group of black soldiers, quickly broke down the door, check in and confirm the winner is dead. Next. That's the award winner. And the TV station was there, so grandma doesn't have to work very hard, but also won a $22,000 jackpot. 1 month later, Katie to Los Angeles. She came here to fulfill her dream of becoming an actress. On the bus, Katie kept staring at the keychain. There's a small Oscar. It seems like it's a memento that you always carry around with you. The old woman sitting next to talked to Katie and asked her what time it is. After learning Katie's dream, she's holding her hand and she's constantly encouraging her. Katie thought this old woman was a good person. And when she just left, you just startled. I realized that my watch had been removed. So Katie had a lesson in her life. In this faraway city, don't trust anyone. During the trip, she noticed that everyone here was very aggressive, or even both. Meanwhile, the media is constantly talking about the next lottery. It's happening in 18 hours. Ticket sales this time. High Century 6, with a jackpot of up to $3.6 billion. Katie finally got to the room she rented online. But it's clear that the actual image is very different from the one on the internet. A heaven and a field. Then I met a very young woman named Sodi. She confidently pasted pictures of herself everywhere. He likes to talk a lot. She also has a boyfriend named DJ. He also has ungraceful actions. Better than your girlfriend. The next day, a man named Noel appeared on T6. He's advertising his bodyguard services. For those who won the lottery, Katie is sleeping. Suddenly, something fell and woke her up. That black slug is all over your clothes. Katie called Cho Sadie to complain about the leaking ceiling. Sadie said it was raining last night. Where is Cuss? Cuss from the upstairs bathroom. Katie's got an important audition in a few hours. But clothes that smell like this have to be done. Go away brazenly, suggest Will Cho Katie. Rent clothes for $40. There's no other way, so you have to accept it. That's it. Sadie left, let Katie rent costumes like circus. When Katie arrived, I was surprised that there were all these beautiful girls in front of me. Long legs to armpits, female. The assistant director asked Katie to pay $400 to join. The auditions finally started. And Katie recommends that she did a lot of commercials on TV6 as a child, but she had to take a break from her career to take care of her mother, have a serious illness. After her mother's death, Katie decided to try acting again. She reached into her pocket to get the script, but accidentally saw Sadie's lottery ticket. The ticket is activated immediately when Katie accidentally printed her fingerprints on it. It took a picture of her and officially registered her as a player. Katie didn't know what it was. She put it away and tried to act. But you haven't even opened your mouth yet. He was kicked out by the director. Katie angrily demanded $400 back, but he decided not to pay. So you've only got $10 left to live on. Suddenly, all the other girls' lottery tickets, they all vibrate at the same time, announced that Katie had won the lottery. And there's also a photo of the face. Like this, the girls immediately change their attitude and attack Katie with whatever they can, to reach the entire hallway that had briefly become chaotic. AI also wants to attack this $3.6 billion gold nugget, and Katie is confused. I don't understand what's going on. She quickly ran away and escaped into a room. She saw the girls running by and she felt relieved. But you know what? You're in a martial arts class, and so the Brotherhood puts it all aside. Who's coming to attack Katie? Try to ask what's going on. But they thought you were pretending to be stupid and didn't answer, while the other fighters are fighting each other. The teacher grabbed Katie's legs and turned her like a pinwheel. Then he threw her straight through a yoga class. The women here have just been informed. Katie won the lottery. The fighters were also quickly present, and the whole room started to go haywire when the teacher grabbed Katie Noel's neck and suddenly came out. Now as a hero, you rushed directly to throw him against the wall. Then Noel introduced his security services to Katie. The fee is 10% of the prize. Even though you don't understand what he's saying, maybe this is a loan. But because of the urgency, so you agree to the deal. Noel immediately began to work. With a big, muscular body, the same skills of a former Special Forces soldier. Let them know what a festival is. He even used Katie as a weapon. I tied her to my back to keep her safe. and use belts as ROI for remote attacks. After a while, they were all defeated. Then Noel dragged Katie away. You explained that the lottery company's drone is outside. It's supposed to update your location every 14 minutes, so they need to leave immediately. Noel warns Katie. From this point until the sun goes down, need to be very careful. Sometimes things will fall from the sky that you don't want. Just finish saying that you sell ice cream nearby, straight at Katie with a knife. It makes both of you feel good. Get in the car and run around the city. Everyone is ready too. Take whatever you have with you to fight. Bad old lady calculated the day before on the bus, also eager to join. At this point, Noel explained to Katie everything clearly. Out at home, Katie only likes to watch Nobby reviews, not the news, because it's boring. Soon after, their car was hit by a group of reporters. Motorcycle chase. Noel took out 2 helmets from the back seat and tell Katie to put it on. Surprise, there was a guy who threw a petrol bomb on the roof of the car and set it on fire. But Noel is still alive. The steering wheel keeps speeding straight into a warehouse. The reporters were quickly there, so Noel had to drive around inside, and they keep throwing other gas bombs. Katie panicked. I want to get out of this game immediately. But the only way to do that is to leave the city. Noel shot a guy with an anesthetic gun to take him down, and then you drive in circles, while the newspapers, they're constantly throwing different objects at them. This creates a lot of dust that tricks them. They both managed to escape by Noel used his own strength to push the car. Katie kept insisting. She wants out of the game. So Noel agreed. We'll take her to the nearest border of the city. At that time, the press found them again and the chase began. A female journalist jumped in her car and withdrew her contract to attack Katie. Don't touch her, Noel. She had just pulled out her tranquilizer gun, and she was bitten in the hand by the journalist. So he grabbed the rearview mirror and beat her up. Then he asked Katie to drive. And he moved to the back seat to continue the fight. Christmas politely wears an extra helmet for female journalists and kick her out of the car. The rest of them continue to chase and threw another petrol bomb. To the end, Noel forces Katie to drive. Crash through a wall to escape. They stopped the car and a guy crashed into the grid. While Katie opened the window, beat the last guy with his helmet. They both try to leave, but the car is now badly damaged. Katie just got out of the car, immediately run away, but Noel stopped her. You explained that you won't get any money if you give up, but if you don't want to participate, I am willing to help you escape. But Katie's learned so much about trust. She threw sand in his face and punched him. At this moment, a police car appeared. Katie was glad she was finally saved. I can't believe the police want to kill you too. Fortunately, Noel caught their taser in time and start fighting them. Katie has 3 legs. Out on a big road, trying to hide behind a map, but it's still being spotted by drones. She went into a nearby museum. The guard recognizes Katie, but he hated this kind of lottery, so he let you in. And hide the statues. Katie then called Cho Sadi and asked to borrow her car. But Sadi kept asking where Katie was. It made Katie realize that Sadi was looking for her too. At that time, a wax statue suddenly plays Tu's introductory music to the museum, so it was accidental. Reveal Katie's location. So Sadie and DJ tried to run inside. When the guards stopped them from coming in, Sadie didn't hesitate to knock him down. Katie heard them and hid behind a title. Then the two worked together to fight Katie. When there's a chance, you try to run away, but was kicked by the Saddies for a shot in the next room. Sadie and DJ continue to chase the attack. Katie retaliates by pushing a wax figure at them. The fight continues in the horror room, where they take whatever props are available to attack. After many struggles with the costumes and weapons in the movie, Katie runs out when Sadie throws the axe at her. The weapon hit, but because it's fake, it doesn't work. Katie pressed the button to lower the curtains. Then she ran out of the museum, right before the curtains close. Leave it far away and walk the wires stuck inside. At this very moment, a sightseeing car was passing by. I just saw Katie, the guide announced. Tourists spill down attack, and Noel once again appears as a hero. Take her away in a police car. But for now, Katie, still don't believe him. If you help me escape, then he won't have any money. So you think he's going to kill you somewhere. Discreet as the tourist bus chases, and repeatedly crashed into the back of their car. Katie remembers going to a celebrity's house with a shelter. They both showed up at the home of C.A. Kelly. Noel. He used the next man to blink and let Kelly let them in. But a general like this is a sweet potato. It must be as big as a gun. So should. Kelly's afraid of her daisies turning into a sewer hole. Refused not to enter. At that time, the tourists arrived. Katie took Noel's dart gun and forced him to open a shelter. Katie and Noel run inside and gave it to Cho Kelly with a dart gun. A dose so that he doesn't reveal the password. A crowd quickly rushed in, and one of them put his hand in to hold the door, so Noel raised his gun to shoot. But Katie saw him pointing at her, so she grabbed the gun and shot a dart in her arm. Force that person to pull out his hand. Success closed the door. This shelter is fully equipped with everything. And you can both monitor the crowd on security cameras. Katie points her gun at Noel. So he's sitting next to you, and share the sweet truth about yourself. To prove he's a good man. Suddenly, keychain fell out of Katie's pocket, and when he said, "It looks cool," Katie also began to share. She chose to be an actress because of her mother, who loves movies and celebrities. She knew Hollywood could be hell, so I gave Katie a keychain to remind her that she'll be proud of you no matter what. As a child, she's a child actress and makes a lot of money, but your father ran away with all that money. Through sharing this conversation, Katie also somewhat trusts Noel. "Give me back the gun. You want to know why Santa wants to help you escape." So he explained his priorities. One is to save lives, make enough money to keep saving lives. So his mission is to help her survive on the outside. The crowd kept banging on the door, but in vain. Sadiq had Kelly to wake him, but to no avail. So she dragged him into the pool to wake him up and threatened him to say the password to the bunker. Katie and Noel saw all this. "I'm angry because I had no choice but to call and ask for help." I ordered a call and hurriedly put Katie's phone in the safe. Then both hold the door while Sadie is pressing the password, however. The crowd was pictured. When they hear all their phones, currently announced Ambe, but this is just a trap, and their phones start to explode. It burns many parts of the body. When people are dealing with burns, Katie and Noel take the opportunity to run out to escape. There's a group of guards waiting outside, with solid cars and rubber bullets. They just want to take Katie, but she forced them to take Noel with them. A moment later, both of you go to headquarters and meet the owner of this company. His name was Lewis, and he gave Katie a new phone, and recommend that it's the safest building in the country. He also showed off the grenades in his pocket. Only 4 hours until the game is over. Lewis took them both on a tour and showed them. Wall, there are all the winners that the company has partnered with. But the strange thing is that these names are anonymous, and for quite a long time, the company has no more customers. Lewis says his company will charge 30%, and Katie immediately agreed to sign the contract. And then they saw it on the security camera that a crowd is gathering outside. So Lewis decided it would be safer to move Katie to an underground fortress, and will use a decoy car to deceive outsiders. The listening plan is also possible. But first, both received medical attention for their wounds, and Noel shared more about himself. Then out, you and Lewis were mercenaries for a private company, and their units are sent around the world to kill the bad guys. Katie, on the other hand, shared that her father used to be her manager and made her work all day. When she turned 18, she told him she wanted to manage her own money, so he quickly disappeared with that money. Katie has to take care of her dead mother. A month ago, she only left you $600 and a bus ticket to Los Angeles. At that time, an employee brings in a face-altering machine. Katie can choose the face she wants to be, and then put the face in the machine. For a moment, she had successfully turned into an old goat. Suddenly, right now, Noel is starting to feel strange, because it didn't make sense for Lewis to move the party out. If you only charge 30%, it's not enough to build a modern facility like this, especially since they haven't had any customers lately. After the party changes clothes to finish the disguise, Noel finally realized the problem. Lewis just pretended to protect the winners to kill them. In secret, Lewis takes them to a car, and Katie kept asking Noel to come along. But Lewis refused. So desperate, Katie kicked in. Groin. Lewis and Noel take advantage of distraction to open GA Ray. Then, he shot all the guards with his darts. When the crowd comes in, but they didn't recognize Katie and ignored her. Noel pulled her out and gave her the key card that he stole from a guard. Tell you to run away while he'll stay to buy time. Many other guards appeared and kept Noel. Lewis was there and kicked Noel for information. All of a sudden, all of these AI-driven decoy cars running through. Of course, Katie's in one of those too. So Lewis sent his men out in pursuit. In the city center, Katie took off her mask and started controlling the car. So, the route change alerted Lewis's system. Meanwhile, social media is going crazy because the drone had lost Katie's position. If it continues like this, you will be safe from your pursuers until the game is over. Also from there, she's starting to have fans who see her as a hero. A while later, Katie is about to leave the city, but she suddenly receives a call from Lewis. He told you to come back or he'll kill Noel. After a moment of hesitation, Katie decided to turn the car to rescue Noel. Meanwhile, Lewis takes Noel to an old theater and reveals that in his days as a mercenary, he always knew that they were killing innocent people, but he never cared. Because as long as he has money, he's in spite of everything. At the same time, Lewis confessed a horrible truth. It's that he killed their entire team to lay all the blame on Noel. Only 15 minutes left. Katie, get a gun and shoot bullets. And run inside the theater. I saw Lewis and Noel on stage. She threatened to end herself, so no one gets the money. I can't believe Lewis is provoking Katie. Just do it. Then he'll erase your fingerprints. And said he's the one who did it. Then he'll get the prize. But Katie figured this out early on, so she turned it on for everyone to see. Katie confessed that there is nothing in this world for you to live for, and tried to pull the trigger, but Lewis finally did. Give in and offer a deal. Katie pretended she was going to give him the gun, but instead kicked him off the stage. I've just been acting for you. When everyone knows where Katie is, they immediately started chasing Katie again. Everyone you met today was at the theater. And touch every entrance, so Katie uses whatever she can get her hands on to slow them down. Suddenly, Lewis grabbed Katie's leg. He fell to the floor and tried to kill her. A policeman came running. Then he dumped Ra and continued to fight Katie. At that moment, a crowd came in, so Noel started fighting them. While still handcuffed to a chair, date-bite Lewis and disarm him before throwing the key at Noel. And I finally untied myself. While Noel fights Lewis. Away, he appears with a Japanese sword to fight Katie, but you quickly disarmed her. And knocked her unconscious with a blow to the head. Only 4 minutes left. A large crowd suddenly rushed into the theater. Noel is still fighting with Lewis, so Katie had to try to climb to the top to keep her alive. Bad old lady on the bus trying to climb up after Katie, so she kicked her up her leg and down her leg. Then Noel started breaking the decorations, so people can't chase Katie. Lewis's staff also came, and create a human staircase for Lewis to climb, while the others hold Noel back. Lewis goes to Katie on the scaffold, and they started fighting until Katie slipped. She hung herself on the edge, and revealed that you managed to remove the grenade padlock from his shirt. The grenade immediately exploded. Lewis melts into a cloud of smoke and Katie falls below, but the crowd of her fans showed up. They stretched a large cloth and supported her safely. Countdown to 0. Katie hugged Noel and promised to give him 50%. The people of the lottery company immediately showed up to give a prize to Katie. 6 months later, Katie and Noel, working together in a variety of charities. They also build a free security company for lottery winners, a school that teaches self-defense and martial arts, a center for children. They have bad parents. They both have vacation trips on their own super yacht. What do you think of this movie? What would you do if you accidentally won this lottery?